Dear Hadith followers, welcome back to another episode. So glad you're here and hopefully we learned something. Now guys, I'm going to, instead of making for this category 3 hadiths or 2 hadiths and comparing it to the Quranic ayat that you guys say that it explains, I'm just going to do one at a time. That way I can keep it short and you guys, instead of having to sift through my videos, can only look at one. So let's get straight into it. Today's ayat that I wanted to look at was Surah 96:1, considered the very first revelation to the Prophet. It begins by saying, read in the name of your Lord, the one who created Iqra, most quoted as being first revelation. The hadith that comes with this is volume 1, Bukhari, number 3. So as soon as you grab a Bukhari, turn to the third one and you will see this present. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing. Don't want to waste your time. However, I'll start with my questions that I find problems with this. So, dear Hadith followers, my first problem is, why is Aisha, who wasn't even born, the narrator? How can she be the narrator of this? She mentions what happened before Revelation. She mentions what happens during Revelation. And she mentions afterwards, here we go, what happens after Revelation. How does she know these details? And mind you, she knows word for word conversations that Khadija had with her cousin as well, who used to write the gospel in Hebrew. She knows word for word details of what happened. How does Aisha know this information? Now, my second question, my hadith following brethren, is, dear hadith followers, it says 3 times, the angel caught me and forced me, and here in forcefully, and pressed me so hard that he could not bear it anymore. The Prophet is being forced. We know in the Quran, it says in Baqarah 256, it says, no compulsion in religion. There is no compulsion in religion, quoted quite often to say that you cannot be forced a faith or a deen. However, we see here the Prophet being forced. He's being forced. There is no denying this, okay? So, dear Hadith followers, why is the Prophet being forced the deen? In fact, what's more important is the fact that he's being forced, and you guys want us to believe that he's getting the ability, he was illiterate, and he's getting the ability to read and write. So, because he says, I do not know how to read. So, dear Hadith followers, why is the Prophet being given the ability to read or write, or why he's being told to read if he didn't receive a book? Therefore, dear Hadith followers, do you believe that the Prophet actually received a physical book according to your Hadith? He was given the ability to read, or do you believe that the angel told him what to record in the book and he wrote it himself? Either way, you must believe that he either received the book or he wrote a book, or else it makes absolutely no sense why Allah would give the Prophet this unique ability of reading and writing if he didn't actually read or write the Quran. Why would the Sahaba be given the ability, opportunity to, get it wrong when the Prophet has the ability to read and write? Why wouldn't he do it himself? It makes no sense that you'd think Sahaba wrote it when the Prophet was given this ability. So that's my other question, guys. Very important. Did the Prophet receive a Quran, a physical Quran, or did he actually get told what to write by the angel and then he delivered what was told by the angel? So my next question is, dear Hadith following friends, is the fact that 3 times he was forced to read. Not once he said read, not twice he said read, but 3 times. He said to me, read again, but read again, but read again. Okay, so, dear Hadith followers, why is there only 1 Iqra in the Quran? Why isn't there 3? Read in name your Lord, the one who created. Once, not twice, not 3 times, once. Okay, so, dear Hadith followers, that makes no sense to me. In fact, dear Hadith followers, another major problem with this idea is, dear Hadith followers, why doesn't it mention Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim? Why hasn't the angel approached him in the name of Allah? Wouldn't you think that would be, if this is very important, because there is one Quranic surah that doesn't actually have a Bismillah, so an importance is put onto the Bismillah that's mentioned. Why isn't it mentioned in your Hadith? He didn't come in the name of Allah. He just came and started telling him forcefully that he has to read and forcing it upon him. So, Hadith following friends, I'll leave it there. There is a couple of questions for you. And like I said, I'm going to keep it short, and I'll do a couple more of these, inshallah, soon. Thank you for listening, and have a good day. Assalamu alaikum.